We spend so much of our energy trying to figure out our relationships with other people. But what if the most important relationship we need to work on is actually the one we have with our own thoughts? Today, we're going to dive into how our internal mindset can, seriously, completely change our external world. I want you to just sit with that for a second. Can your mindset actually save your relationships? I mean, think about it. When a relationship is on the rocks, we're always looking outside ourselves for a fix. But what if the real key, the one thing that could truly turn it all around, is something completely within our control? What if it's all about our mindset? Okay, to really see how powerful this is, let's start with something we've all been through and something that really hurts: rejection. Because how you deal with that moment, well, it says pretty much everything about the mindset you're working with. I want you to think back to the last time you were rejected. Could be big, could be small, doesn't matter. After that initial ouch, what was the very next feeling? Was it that you were being judged and it just left you feeling angry and bitter? Or was it more like, yeah, this hurts, but you still had a sense that you could move forward?
And right here, this is the fork in the road. Someone with a fixed mindset takes that rejection so personally. It feels like a final judgment on who they are as a person. And that right there is a one-way ticket to bitterness, maybe even wanting revenge. But the growth mindset does something amazing. It separates the event from your identity. The pain is still there, for sure, but it becomes a piece of information, a chance to learn something, to forgive, and to actually move on.
So how do we actually do that? How do we take that growth mindset path? Well, it starts with just being honest. You have to let yourself feel the hurt. Don't bury it. Step one is just feel it. Then, once you've done that, you get curious. You ask, okay, what can I learn from this? What does this teach me about me or what I really want? And finally, and this is probably the toughest part, you work on forgiveness. Not even for the other person really, but for yourself. It's about letting go of that bitterness so you can be free. And this whole idea of learning from painful moments, it's not just for rejection from the outside. It's also the absolute key to handling the biggest challenges inside our relationships. You know what I'm talking about? Conflict. So let me ask you this. Picture your absolute ideal relationship. Go on, what does it look like? Is it just perfectly smooth? No arguments, no friction, ever? A lot of us secretly hope for that, but let's be real. That's a total fantasy. The truth is, every single healthy relationship has conflict. Now this right here is the game-changing idea. What if problems weren't a sign that your relationship is failing? What if instead they were a vehicle, a tool that you could use to actually get closer to each other? Suddenly, every disagreement isn't a disaster. It's a chance to understand your partner and yourself in a way you couldn't before. That's where the real deep intimacy is built. But to actually use that vehicle, we've got to face a pretty tough question. When things go wrong in your relationship, are you a blamer? Just be honest with yourself for a second. Is your gut reaction to figure out whose fault it is? See, the whole point here is to make a conscious shift. It's moving away from the question, who is to blame for this, and moving toward the question, what can we understand from this? It's about literally putting down the pointing finger and opening up your ears instead. And that one little choice? It's the difference between a fight that pushes you apart and a conversation that pulls you together. All right, let's tackle one more big one. Something that can get in the way before a relationship can even begin: shyness. But we're going to look at it in a completely new way. If you're someone who thinks of yourself as a shy person, you know exactly how frustrating that label can feel. It feels like this permanent part of who you are, right? Like it's some core flaw that's always going to sabotage your chance to connect with people. But the growth mindset just throws that whole idea out the window. It says that being good with people isn't some fixed personality trait you either have or you don't. It's a skill set. It's not like the color of your eyes. It's more like a muscle. Yeah, it might be a little weak right now, but you can absolutely train it, practice, and make it stronger over time. So let's play this out. Imagine you're about to walk into a party or a meeting. Instead of that feeling of dread, what if you armed yourself with this mindset? Just remind yourself of these three things. 1, my social skills can get better. 2, this whole interaction is just a chance for me to learn. And 3, my goal here is to find a little bit of enjoyment, not to face some imaginary panel of judges. So when you look at it all together, whether it's dealing with rejection, getting through a conflict, or trying to overcome shyness, it all boils down to one simple choice. In these moments, do we see them as a final verdict on who we are? Or do we see them as an opportunity to become who we want to be? That choice is happening all the time, in every single interaction we have. So I'm going to leave you with this one last thought to carry with you. In your very next conversation, could be tonight, could be tomorrow, what would happen if you let go of the need to be right, or the need to be impressive, or even the need to be liked? What if your one and only goal was just to learn something? How could that one little shift change absolutely everything?